here I have everything set up. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put my winder on the right side. Here is the yarn I'm going to be winding. It's really big and it's really chunky, and I have a feeling it's going to make 2 balls instead of just one, so I pulled out my kitchen scale so that we can weigh it and try to get, a good measure on half and half, make it even. And I have my Swift. I have it set up. They both clamp onto the table. See? Right there. Okay. Let's get started. And I'm doing this real time so that you can see how easy it is. So one end is just popped in, and I'm going to let it fall. Sometimes you'll get some of these dangling. Just try to put it all together. Start off on the Swift. Just get it on there. Don't worry about if it's just right the first time. So this one's obviously not right. I have things hanging down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go one arm at a time. I'm going to make sure that everything is on in between these 2 pieces of wood. That's where the yarn wants to go, needs to go. This one's okay. There's nothing hanging above or below. This one's okay, except it does have a little extra here. Make sure it doesn't get stuck in anything. This one has a little bit stuck on top, so we're going to make sure it's out and over the edge. Okay, so let's see what shape we're in. All right, so we have to figure out where our yarn ends are, and I just found them. Right there. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so this skein has some really, really contrasting yarn holding it together, which is good. That makes it easier to see and find. So I am going to, of course my scissors are way over there. Hold that thought. Okay, I'm back. I found a pair of scissors. So what I'm going to do is, it's actually easier to cut it while it's on the Swift, if you have one. Or if you're going to put it over a chair, put it on the chair, and then it's easier to trim. I like to just cut the knot off and gently pull. You don't want to pull so hard that it comes off the Swift. There's 1, here's 2, and then there's the 3rd, which is the end of the actual yarn. I'm going to leave these till the end to cut off. I don't know, just habit to get into, and I find like if you're going to cut everything else off, don't cut the ends of the yarn until you're ready to wind it up, because that way they don't go anywhere. All right, I'm taking this one out. Okay, now here's my end, the ends of my yarn. See how that just, you can tell this is the end of the yarn because it's the same fiber, same thickness, same weight, versus these very high contrasting yarns. I like it when they use a contrasting yarn. It makes it quicker. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. And this one is wrapped up a little funny. Like it's got some twists. Let's see what we have. So that's one end. Here's the other end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow one end. See where it goes. Do you see how this is on the outside? I think we're gonna start with this one. What I'll do is I'll just gently turn the Swift the other way, get it all wrapped up. What's nice about yarn is you can just sort of stick it there and it'll hold place. Now this end that's on the inside, we don't want that going anywhere, so we're going to tuck it on the next support on the Swift. Okay, so let's get actually winding this. I've got my end that I know is on the outside. Oh, and if you were smart, you would have measured before this point. Hold that thought. Let's take this off. I should have measured this before I took off the ties. So I'm going to measure in grams. I'm going to gently figure out how I had it held so it doesn't go anywhere, doesn't get tangled. 135 grams, give or take. Now I'm going to gently open it back up. I'm going to have to figure out which end is which again. So, see, I'm telling you, this is like follow along real time. See, I've got these on nice, and then I totally dropped all this. So let's just prop it up again. All right, we're going around making sure that all of our yarn is held properly. This one needs to come back over here, and there's this thing. It's an end. I have a feeling this was my outside end before. So let's see. I'm going to twist it until it wants to come out nicely. See how nice it wants to come out? And then this was the end that we tucked behind. All right, so go all the way. Make sure it's going nice and smooth. All right, I'm going to go the opposite way just to pick up the slack. I don't want anything dragging on the floor, getting dust bunnies on it. Okay, so I have my ball winder right here. There's a little slit right here at the top. It's to hold the yarn in the middle. This is a really chunky yarn, so it's not going in as easily. But so do you see that slot right there? Okay, so there is a yarn guide. And so I said 135 grams, right? So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and split this evenly. No idea how well it's going to go because I just, my estimating skills aren't very good. So let's start. I'm going to wind going the right, like I'm right-handed, so everything pretty much always starts off going to the right. Do you see how this is twisted, tilted? If my yarn guide is putting it always at the same spot, but this is tilted and it's twisted, it makes those nice crossover, clean looking balls when you're done. All right, so as I'm going, I'm going to hold this out. And what this does is this helps get the tension here nice and even. So let's say I get a snag, like this is snagged. I need to loosen it a little bit. By holding this taut, I can control the swift, and I can make sure that I'm not holding the yarn too taut, such that it like stretches out on the ball winder. Sometimes you have to adjust this. Sometimes the yarn does go in and out of like the outside to the inside. So just go slow, keep an eye on it. I'm going to try and eyeball halfway. Okay, whoops. Okay, there we go. See, it gets stuck. No big deal. No big deal. You can hold your hand out here. You can hold it next to it. Whatever you get comfortable with. This is really tight. Normally I like to have like an extra foot between, but seeing as the camera is already super close and you're seeing more of the studio than you need to, I figured we'll just do it nice and close. Okay, I'm almost at halfway, I think. I'm just gonna go a little bit longer, and so notice these. Let's see, do you see these right here? They're hanging down here. Try to keep those up because they will eventually wind around the bottom of the swift, and it's annoying. All right, so I think I'm about halfway. I'm going to kneel down here and look at this because it's easier. Do you see how right here on this edge, the yarn is just coming up to the edge? You do not want the yarn to go over this edge. I don't know if you can see very well, but under the yarn winder, there are teeth, little gears that spin it around. And when you get it in those gears, it is miserable. So just don't. I say that. Just don't. Okay, so I think I'm about halfway. I believe that this skein has about 2 of these balls, this size ball on it. All right, so I think I have about half. I have tried to pull this off before and weigh it, but with the chunky yarn, it doesn't like to do that. So I am going to be brave again and take this off. I'm only doing this because I like things even, and a lot of other people do too. So I'm going to gently place it back on here, turn it back on. Now I have 76 grams. I'm going to call that even because it might even be even. I haven't done the math yet. That sounds good. 75, right? Wait, no, 76. That works for me. All right, I'm going to put this back on. Again, make sure that you are finding the outside, the yarn that's you want to wind on the outside. See? I'm just turning it a little bit as I go because I'm finding that it's sort of at the bottom. Oh, the dog's out. Don't mind her. All right, I'm going to get this back on, and then I'm going to do what seems very scary in the middle of a skein as I'm going to cut the yarn. And I'm going to very gently pull this off. I'm going to put my finger on the yarn. So now I have a nice center pull. I'm going to shove it back in there. What I like to do with the outside yarn is sort of tighten that last, make sure that last loop around is pretty tight. And then I'll just, tuck it under a couple times just so that it stays. There's one. All right, let's grab the end. Let's see, which end was it? I think it was this one. So I'm going to tuck this. My second end has fallen under here. So I'm going to tuck it back, but I'm going to tuck it in all the way so that it doesn't want to come out again. And so that it's all the way on the inside. All right, there's that. I'm going to go back to get my end ready. So you can do the yarn in this slot first and then do the guide, or vice versa. It doesn't matter as long as it's going in a smooth line from here into the yarn winder. All right, let's finish this up. I'm going right again. That's what I do. Okay, so there's a little snag here. And if you find that it's the wrong end that you picked, it just takes a little longer and a little more finesse. That's all. No big deal. Just pay attention. That's all. All right. See how that end is falling around as it goes? Let's see. Where is it? Okay. See this? Make sure it's tucked in again. Let's see. Where is it? Even if you have to tuck it in somewhere else for now, just do it, and you'll probably have to do it again, but you just don't want it to wind up around that center pole. Like I said, it's annoying. I don't like annoying. So let's say I accidentally have too much on this side, this half, I'll call it. Oops, see, I got stuck. If we have too much on this half and it's uneven from the first one, what we can do is, when this is at the end, which it just about is, let me make sure I don't go over. All right, see how I'm at the edge? I'm going to take this off gently. And I'm just going to wind it. You can do around the outside if you want. Okay, just to keep this yarn from going too far on this edge and getting stuck. I'd rather do this than have it get stuck. And then sometimes when you're, let's say you're winding this and you still have space on the winder, sometimes these ends get like really tangled. So sometimes I'll just take them off of the Swift, and if I'm on here, and I'll just keep going and I will just guide it on. But in this case, we have a little extra. So here we go. There's the extra. I'm going to take my end and I'm going to tuck it a couple times. Nothing fancy. I don't knot it or anything. Just enough so it won't fall out if it's tucked in a bag or something. And there we go.